there's so much opportunity being created online with this growing economy.
Could you imagine going from like being a barber to now you're in like an affiliate manager? Like,
One of
like,
our
what
best
is
success
this world?
stories is
Really?
was a hairdresser. She got trained through our programs, and then she started producing an extra, I think, $300,000-$400,000 a month for them within the first 6 months. If you have the skill set, it's such a great job going from this normal 9 to 5 and all of a sudden crushing it online.
Welcome to Seven Figure Entrepreneur Podcast, the number one podcast bringing you behind the scenes with real online earners. No fake gurus here. And today we have the wonderful Alona Rudnitsky. Did I do that right? Yeah, I kind of paused, but I got it. I'm sorry. And we also have the wonderful Tyler Devon here.
What's up, everyone?
It's been a while. We've been doing things.
We've been busy.
We've all been busy. Alona's been busy too. I'm sure she's been busy. So yeah, I'm excited for this because I really I have a little bit of an idea of what you do, but I'm excited to know more about what it is you do. You too, Tyler, I don't know what you do either.
Sometimes I wonder.
Raising puppies.
Yeah.
Raising puppies. Yeah, Tyler just got a puppy, he just showed us, and it is very cute. Looks like it's going to be a handful, but cute nonetheless.
A lot of fun for sure.
Yes. So Alona, how about you kind of tell us what it is you do, and then let's backtrack a little and kind of talk about how you got into this industry.
Yeah, well, currently my business partner and I had a affiliate marketing agency for about 7 years. We did health and wellness product launches, evergreen, the normal launch style. We shut that down about a year ago, and then we launched a performance network instead. So that's been what we're in now, health and financial performance network for high converting offers. Everybody's trusted partner, people we know personally. So very just secure way of doing it.
Amazing. What made you guys transition over?
Yeah, I ran agencies for about 15 years. And one is agencies are hard. It's hard. And within affiliate marketing, we were finding that agencies can only be so effective because it is always about the offer has to click, the offer has to convert. So it's an ongoing relationship with the offer owner, and then the business should really at a certain amount start bringing those relationships in-house. So for us, we were noticing we would get products to a certain point, but then we would recommend that they bring it in-house. We would help them train their affiliate manager. We would start transitioning relationships just because that's what would serve the client more.
Yeah. Well, it's big of you to do.
Yeah. I mean, everybody we work with, we love working with, and we're always looking out. That's kind of how we built our business, is making sure we're looking out for the client first. And we've never done any marketing. We've grown entirely multi-seven figures into in our first year only from referrals. So high integrity has always been our number one priority.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How'd you kind of get into the space as a whole? I feel like everyone kind of trips and stumbles in, and it kind of goes from there, but I'd love to hear your story.
Yeah. I started first marketing agency in 2005 as an SEO agency at Tucson, Arizona. And my current business partner, she was my first employee at that time. She was Amber. She answered a Craigslist ad. She was our salesperson, helped grow that company to about 150 people, being the lead salesperson. Wow. And then after 5 years, we parted ways. She went off to go explore this new affiliate thing she wanted to do. I kept running agencies. And then 6-7 years ago, we looped back around where she became one of the top performing affiliate managers. She had all the relationships and she was ready to do her own thing. My company I just exited that partnership. So we decided to team up together and use my background of agencies and then all of her relationships and just blast off.
Very cool.
That's Amber Spears, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Small world.
Amber. She's cool.
Yeah, she's fantastic. She's been on the podcast too. Love that girl.
What's her mastermind again? She has the
Mimosa Mastermind. Yeah, it's coming up.
Right. I like that. That's amazing.
I know it started such a silly project, but it's turned into one of the best events out there.
That's
So
what happens with the best, like the best events always like they seem to grow on their own almost. As long as there's good quality people there showing up, delivering good content, everyone wins and it just I feel like it gets a life of its own eventually.
yeah, if you guys ever have a chance to go to it, I mean, it blows my mind who she gets in that room every time.
Mhm.
She has right now Lavinia speaking, which is co-founder of Equinox. She has, I don't know, she just gets these massive names, and everybody is coming in as she has this incredible ability to create relationships where people come in as her friend. Lavinia is willing to come, attend, help teach, do one-on-ones with people, which is unheard of. So it's
Wow,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's really cool.
I feel like at least when I started in this industry, like like affiliate marketing was like its own thing, but now we're really bridging the gap into like brick and mortar businesses because a lot of stuff's applying. So it's kind of interesting to see how the industry as a whole is really transforming.
Yeah, it's been massive. So we started doing consulting for corporate consulting maybe 5 years ago, where it was affiliate marketing, even in corporate world, was this thing that was kind of on the back burner, an additional channel they're exploring. Usually the admin is still doing the relationships. And about 5 years ago, people started slowly bringing us in to help them build out proper marketing with channels, with goals, with expectations, KPIs. We were going into billion-dollar companies that didn't have that. And I'd say in the last like 2-3 years, we've seen that accelerate tremendously, where we also do recruiting. So we do recruiting and training for affiliate managers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And we've seen in the last, especially 2 years, massive shortage of experienced affiliate managers because the amount of companies doing it is growing so quickly. And the
Mhm.
amount of experience out there is, you can't keep up the demand. So we're doing recruiting and training now. But still, I mean, salaries have gone up by about 30-40% for an experienced affiliate manager in the last 2 years because just how many companies are jumping in. It's now for brick and mortar, it's for corporates now doubling down. Everybody's now looking at affiliate marketing as their actual marketing channel, not just background.
It's hard
You
to
know what I
find
love
good
about
affiliate
that?
managers.
What's
Sorry,
that?
For sure. It's hard to find good affiliate managers. Like we work
Totally.
with, I don't know, we probably work with 20 different affiliate companies, and I would say probably like 5 of those are the top.
It's hard because that's one of the reasons we started doing a training program. We've got really good at training affiliate managers, and I'm realizing that no affiliate manager has actually had proper training out there. So it's,
Okay.
they kind of put in that role because they're good with people. Usually they're an assistant, they're an admin, they're good with people, and they're like, okay, cool, take care of this. But
That's literally how it goes.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of pressure to put on, and it's, multi-million-dollar channel for somebody who's never actually had training in
Totally.
management.
I also feel that like what I found was interesting is like the so I know that certain affiliate managers, certain companies are supposed to hit like monthly goals, right? But then I'm like, you're only as strong as your offer, and if your offers all suck, like how can you really hit that? Like it's
Mhm.
just so I feel like it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like you want someone that's good, but you also need to have like the offers to back it up, or you're just gonna be, yeah, you're gonna be
You know
dead in the
what,
water
though?
and you're just gonna rip through people. What's that?
I feel like a good affiliate manager like also has like understands their offer and understands like the competitive advantages to bring to offers. Like there's so much I've learned just from working with Brooklyn that's applied to other things. She's definitely one of our favorites. So I think a good affiliate
Mhm.
manager can really help bridge that gap. I wouldn't say it's their responsibility, but they can certainly have a good impact.
That's
Yeah,
valid.
and it's definitely both sides too. Matching what kind of affiliate manager you hire to how well your offer converts. You don't need a highly experienced superstar if your offer is brand new and just getting off the ground. So it's kind of matching an affiliate manager expectations to it. We do see that a
Mhm.
lot where, companies try to set the KPIs to be 10x what they're currently doing with no clear reason of why they should just 10x it overnight outside of.
Shoot to the moon. Too many Grant
Yeah,
Cardone.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
10%, 20% growth is great. 50% growth is incredible. But I think, again, we're starting to see that backtrack of people understanding it's
Yeah.
an actual marketing channel like cold media. You can't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
enter ads to
Yeah.
10x for no reason.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tyler, to your point, I think it like that's you made a good point there, because like even with like Brooklyn and some of the other affiliate offers we know, or managers we know, like Bora and stuff, even though that's not what she is, she'll get pissed from me for telling that, but she basically is.
Yeah.
They're also always trying to find offers or saying like, hey, we should create this, we should do this,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So they are adding more value than just finding the traffic, I guess.
No doubt.
Affiliate managers are so valuable. They are a salesperson, they're a project manager, and they're a whole marketing person because they're your best connection to what's happening out there, how your offer's
Mhm.
doing, what other possibilities there are, how to work. I mean, their job is hard. They have a lot going
Yeah.
on, and they have a
They
lot.
generally have bulletproof livers too,
That too. That you got to add that to the resume. I mean,
right?
it
It's
definitely
it's a
takes.
requirement. Fuck.
It's a highly, high level role that's not always treated as that.
No doubt.
Yeah,
One
that's true.
one thing I was kind of thinking about as we were chatting is some of the offers you guys are hosting on your network. Could you talk about some of those?
Yeah, we come from a health and wellness background, so most of our offers are people that we've worked with in the past. Everybody on our network are people we know. And we know them because we have a mastermind, we've worked with them in the past. So our goal within the network is to make sure we personally know it's been vetted, it's tested, it's high converting, it's high payout, it's reliable. We're trying to bridge that gap of things that we struggle with as an agency to now make that a little bit more mass scale. So we have things like supplements, we have programs, we have financial crypto webinars, but again, everything is offers that our clients are consistently working on. So they're putting out new swipes, they're doing split testing,
Nice.
they're coming in.
Mhm.
Anything that stops converting, we pause it or archive it. So it's
Nice.
just fresh list of things. And then we work closely with several list managers that feed us back that same data of, hey, it's still converting really high. It's, so we're able to push the ones to the top. Yeah, we're basically representing everything that we wanted as an agency to have.
That
Mhm.
makes sense. What just so people can kind of get an idea of how big these offers can grow, could you kind of share some numbers as far as like amount of volume some offers are seeing?
Yeah, I mean, for a financial offer that we have right now, it's doing $500 to $600,000 a month in payouts. So it's growing quite a bit. We have supplement offers that can do $1-2 million a month. We have, as far as payouts go, up to $150, $160 CPAs that are
Yeah.
converting at 2%, 2.5%. So I mean, they can go pretty high, just depending
Yeah.
on the list
You know,
manager.
$1 to $2 million a month, that's like, solid 8 figures per year. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
As far as like the offers you see really grow in scale versus the ones that kind of stay stale and small, what would you say are some of like the key differentiators between the guys owning them or the actual offers themselves? And when I say guys, I mean obviously guys and gals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's the commitment, the offer owner's commitment to it. It's the
Mhm.
consistent testing. Even once it does well, if it does well, I see a lot of offer owners just put it on autopilot versus
Mhm.
that's when you really double down on the aggressiveness when something clicks, is
Mhm.
really get down to testing. It's weekly. I mean, our top offers, we have 1 to 2 calls a week with them because we're
Wow.
reviewing the data, they're testing, they're pumping out new assets, they're looking at every affiliate, giving them custom assets if needed, they're adjusting. So it's that work ethic around it. That's one of the biggest differentiators. And then we see is how they approach especially their affiliate program.
Mhm.
That's in our world. It's the offer owners that are trying to pay as little as possible to get away with it, or if they really know their lifetime value and maximizing that to pay as much as possible for acquisition.
Mhm.
Our affiliate partners this is their model, the business
Yeah.
model. I think it's treating that with respect of the more we can pay, the more acquisition we can get, and if you can know your lifetime value really well. So the biggest guys, I see them being okay with breaking even, going upside down a little bit because they know their numbers so well.
Yeah.
Versus the people that don't grow a lot, they try to really trying to hit that profit day one is hard with supplements or some of the physical products.
Yeah. I actually think that's really good advice. We recently talked to a company that made supplements and all sorts of stuff in South Florida. And they were doing really well until they got their Facebook account knocked down and they went from millions a month to hundreds of thousands a month. This is the call we had earlier in the week, Gabe.
Yeah.
And they were pressing, they're like, hey, what can we do for economics? What can we do for economics? And I really pushed back and said, at this point, we shouldn't care yet. Because the most important thing we need to do to help you is make a converting funnel. And then we can get an idea of what economics are. And like, they had a lot of products where people should be ordering again. And I'm like, what's your reorder rate? And they said that we don't even know. And so I'm like, oh man, like you just have a lot of work to do. And so they were kind of spoiled when they had their Facebook account, but like, it's pretty much suicide having one channel. That's insane. And relying on that, like that's completely ludicrous. So we're helping them be more robust. But I agree. I think the point being made where it's like knowing your lifetime value is really like one of your biggest advantages in this game.
And working on that lifetime value, it's just, I think 5-7 years ago, people still try to compare to that, where you could just get away with having a good front end product. It's fine, but that's just not it anymore.
Totally. Just for people who don't know what lifetime value is, it's basically like how much money someone spends with you over the life of them being with your business. So on average, if your customers order a $100 product 3 times, the average order is $300. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of what to look at. And when you start building out your metrics based on that, maybe everyone else is only willing to pay $50 because they want to double their money, but you're willing to pay 150. It's just a complete game changer and gives you a huge advantage.
And that's almost become the standard lately, is the 150, even though the day one could be 80, 90, but 150, 140 for it to really scale. For
Really
That's cool.
competitive. Very cool.
Do you have any tips for people that maybe do have an offer that are listening to this, that they can kind of up their lifetime value of a customer? And I know that's a very like broad statement because each offer is different, but I'm sure there's probably some consistencies that you end up seeing in these offers.
Yeah, surprisingly, we still see a lack of continuity programs on the back end. So just some sort of membership program. It's the whole, whatever they're buying, customer will buy more of that. We still don't see. And again, I feel.
Do you mean from like say it's a supplement with an auto ship program, or maybe a supplement with like a digital program to accompany it?
I mean, I've seen either, but I see quite a few people coming in with neither. So it's quite a few come in with, just like in the front end page, they'll do maybe one upsell, but the back end, I mean, lifetime value, we really focus on. There's great phone sales companies that can call your customers and upsell them into more, which that's been really, really powerful. Most of them do it on performance basis too.
That's amazing.
Making sure you monetize your email list on the back end if you can, unless you're building a brand to sell, which you have to be careful, but still like monetizing your email list. It's continuity programs. There's just so many things you can do on the back end. So, and then making sure you retain the customer, great customer service. I feel like in the affiliate world, so often people focus so much on that just front end conversion, and they forget about the whole back tail of it.
Yeah. And that's one great tip you talked about right there. It's just like the ability to have a call team call your customers for you. So they'll do that purely on a performance basis.
Yeah, there's a company we work with closely, Salesbound, that does for supplements or health offers. They'll call the customer, and essentially what they'll do is, if you have multiple products, they'll talk to your customer and try to sell them more of either the same or adjust their elements. They'll help them put together a 6 or 12-month protocol of here's all the supplements within your suite that can help them achieve their goals. And they're on strictly on performance basis. So it's becoming.
That's cool.
Freaking cool, man.
Yeah. It's definitely.
I wonder how hard the training is on that.
Their training, I think it's at least several months of sales training, and then they have well-developed scripts. I think they've been doing it for 7-8 years now. So they focus on, again, the big thing is they focus on a niche. So health and supplement, and they have pretty well-developed scripts at this point.
How much extra revenue are people able to find they can have from having a call center pop on and try to upsell their clients?
Extra 30%.
Damn.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's significant. Very cool. Huh.
Even like that.
Ideas spinning now.
Yeah, same. So Tyler and I are working on something similar to what you're talking about. That's why we're all like asking all these questions. Even like the 30-day text message follow-up, like saying like, hey, you're probably low on this, you should re-up.
Yeah.
There's just so many angles that are not.
There's so many. You don't have to do all of them. Just do a couple.
Yeah.
I think all of them's the answer though.
All of them's the answer.
Always.
What about
at the same time.
Yeah,
that's right. I imagine most of your clients, they sell through VSL.
Maybe 30% are VSL, a lot
Oh,
of
really?
long form sales pages. We do some e-commerce ones as well with a good front end lead in.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I was kind of curious to kind of touch on like the whole subject of copywriters, because obviously copywriters are super imperative. We're even finding internally, just testing different copywriters, like it's amazing when a copywriter can come in and literally like double your performance within a few weeks. And like that's, it's reasonable. We actually see that on some stuff, so it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the never ending goal, right? Just trying to find, or the ever ending issue, trying to find a good copywriter that can continue improving. We worked with some really great internal copywriters. I feel like there's such a gamut of them. It's hard to know.
I was going to ask you, like, we've kind of the process of hiring a copywriter has definitely been like a more challenging thing for us. And I imagine for a lot of people, finding a good copywriter, any sort of like tips or recommendations that you can kind of say as far as helping people source good copywriters?
Oh man, that is not my expertise. I have also hired a lot that haven't worked out.
Yeah.
We've gotten lucky. So internally, we have phenomenal copywriter. We work with Upsender, which is their supplement copywriting team, and email list management. They've been phenomenal. So I feel like I've gotten lucky.
Yeah.
Also hired lots of copywriters that haven't worked out. I think so much of it is just testing and testing quickly.
Yeah.
It has to be
Yeah.
right. It's not even their skill level. It's like their skill that clicks with your tone and your audience and your offer. And it's almost testing them through and being willing to spend money on it.
Hmm.
A lot of people being hesitant of investing in testing copywriters. And
Yeah.
they're expensive, but they take a lot of time to actually develop the skill and develop the sales pages. So it's just testing a lot of them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I always feel like speed of implementation, at least the way I think about stuff, it's worth the investment to go faster. Because once something clicks, the scale you can receive is literally insane. Like I've heard of offers going from 0 to like 6 million a month in a few months,
With
just because they've been able to hit their metrics and push harder and scale. So it's pretty amazing what's possible once you get all this together.
yeah, and it is so often it's treated as a project where it is a whole business, and it needs to be structured like a business where copywriters, they're just another hire, right? It's your CC'd hire. It's a really important key role, but also there's you need to know what you're looking for and just try to find them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What I imagine you guys kind of have a bit of a process or some sort of system you follow to some degree with respect to onboarding offers. Can you kind of touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So for vetting offers or onboarding them?
Sorry, I'd say for vetting, because I think this will be useful for people like who are looking to build offers or people who want to run traffic. Just an idea of like maybe some like tips that they could use to help, just make better decisions.
Yeah, the big things we look for are, well, how, first off, it's compliant, because we only
Yeah.
take compliant, pretty white hat offers. And it's,
Do you mind if we touch on that for a second? Are you guys noticing any trends in the compliance world?
I'm sorry.
Are you guys noticing any trends in the compliance world as far as like certain people running into issues that are like of the same market? Because I know the info space was getting was they got it pretty out of hand with some of their claims and whatnot. So I know there's been some clamp down there. But I was curious if you've noticed anything in the space.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we're noticing that people are willing to push the line more and more, and
Mhm.
and more networks like ClickBank, like us, are less and less willing to take that risk,
Yeah.
because when we hit compliance issues, they're just becoming so major, they can take a whole network down, that it's not worth it.
Crazy.
But people are really willing to push the envelope more and more because of how competitive it's getting.
Hmm.
So
So do
we're
they go, sorry, do they go after you, not just the offer owner as well?
they can start with the network. We obviously have protection in place that it's
Yeah.
not on us, but also it would start with the network as well. And if the
Okay.
network, the offer, or it's a traffic driver, it's just kind of everybody gets tangled into that mess until it gets sorted out, when
Gotcha.
it's a really big deal.
Mhm.
So for us, we anything that's claiming and too claiming in general, we walk away from. I don't
Mhm.
even know the trends as much now. It's kind of like SEO as it's changed over time.
Yeah,
I had an SEO agency and I knew where to walk that line for a long time. And now I don't even know where to walk that line because we're so white hat that
totally.
we're just not willing to even play in that bubble.
I think in
what
terms of longevity, that's
that-
smart.
yeah.
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 I think it puts you in a position where you could scale bigger too. You might move slower, but like down the road, you're gonna be in a way better position.
Yeah, it's definitely slow. And I can see why people push that line, right? It is slower moving. It's not as high conversions, it's not as fast, but we are going for longevity. We're going for that stable, reliable growth.
Totally.
And that's, I mean, with any offer owners, it's just a matter of what their goals are.
Yep, that makes sense. What any other tips for just when you guys are looking at offers?
Yeah, so we go through a really similar vetting process we did as an agency. So for us, we want to see their performance on average. So we want to see that they've tested at least 7 to 10 different audiences within email lists.
Oh,
Our big niche is email. So we want to see some sort of consistency, not just one time that the offer did well. We want to see that their swipes are fresh. We want to see that they have somebody on staff that can do updated swipes, that can take care of the tech, because again, tech issues hurt everybody.
totally.
We have a pretty long checklist, but the checklist is all around making sure the owner is working on the offer, the tech is taken care of, the credit merchant processing. So if we scale, we start looking at, hey, like, do you have a backup merchant processor?
That's
Yeah, what are your numbers? We want to protect the traffic buyers or the media buyers, the affiliates, and running launches. I mean, we've done $10 million launches. We've seen every variation of issue come through.
mhm.
So it's just really, we're willing to test. If we know somebody, we trust them, they have great conversion numbers initially, we're willing to test, so we're willing to onboard them. But as far as scaling, once we get into like, okay, your numbers look good, we definitely start getting into the gritty of making sure the traffic bars are really protected, that the site is really well kept. Again, new swipes are produced, merchant processors backups, that they're just really keeping on it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But
Uh,
testing, okay.
yeah, I'm actually really curious because a lot of people, when you talk about running traffic, they think about Facebook, Google, YouTube, but I know there's a massive world of email traffic out there that I
That's our
think
niche.
is, yeah, relatively untapped. Could you kind of speak to the amount of volume that's out there?
I mean, and email traffic it's just like cold media traffic where it's very numbers based. If
Yeah,
an offer hits, I mean, email traffic can do 3,000-5,000 sales a day for some just individual affiliate traffic partners.
just individual.
We have some individual email traffic partners that can do that kind of volume. I mean,
Wow.
we've worked with 5,000 partners of email traffic. There's a huge abundance of them. It is an entire channel, and that's always been our niche, is email traffic. We do work with, we're trying to actually
Crap ton of sales, man. So you do
yeah,
3,000, say times $100,
it,
uh, or 5,000 times $100. That's like 300, 500 grand a day.
they can beat out cold media buyers. Again, these are the really big players, and
Yeah,
there's a finite number of them, and then there's also the volume side of it. But it really is a massive traffic channel. They are very cut and dry numbers, so the numbers have to work. It has to click for their audience. So you have to pay high enough. And again, we're trying to grow more into media now, native, social media affiliates. But our whole background has been, we've done $10 million launches on just email.
that's crazy. It is interesting because like a lot of people don't really look at email as a channel. And then second, they have no clue how to buy it. Like at best, maybe they know about Power Inbox or Live Intent, but that's not really what we're talking about here. There's like other channels too. Just I'm sure people that have massive databases.
Yeah, and they've built them up over years. They've done lead gen, they've done, they just, email list management is, again, a massive marketing channel in itself. It's sending third-party offers to email platforms that are warmed up, or through to email lists that are warmed up, are just, we find the conversion significantly better than any cold media. And we find the lifetime value better because it is somebody endorsing, it is somebody that's already in the inbox. It's a
Yeah.
little more warm touch point.
I was
But
going to ask about that actually, if it converted better than other channels you've seen.
it does, yeah.
Interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the great thing is it's CPA. So it's not like media buying where you're prepaying for a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I think that's where probably why we're so particular with our offers is because our background is email.
Yeah.
And it's not like cold media where you can keep testing. These are relationships. So if somebody tests it, it doesn't back out for them, the numbers don't work. It's really hard to get them to test again. This is their entire business model, and you're not prepaying. That's an option. Prepaying is an option, but most of the time you're not prepaying. You're working on CPA basis. So if it doesn't back out, it doesn't back out. And we get really protective of our traffic drivers because we
Yeah.
want to protect their business. This is their revenue. This is, their whole structure. So we're not going to send them offers that are untested to
Yeah.
pick up that email space.
Do you think, as far as like testing offers, do you think it's worth tossing certain guys a CPM just to get it out there? Like, would that be something you'd recommend, or would you, I guess, because say you're bringing a product to market, right? And you're like, hey, we want to see 10 email tests. If someone doesn't have that, how do they go about getting that?
Absolutely, CPM, yeah. Do a mailing, do a prepaid mail drop, get the data. Don't put the list owners at that risk while you're
Yeah.
out being tested.
That makes sense. Very
Smart.
cool. I love that, man. Not a lot of people are talking about email traffic at all, but I know it's a massive, massive source.
Yeah, it's fascinating because even corporate is starting to get into it now. So it's
Yeah.
becoming a more talked about channel, I think. We're seeing with our list manager partnerships, we're seeing more brands and corporates start actually looking at duplicating their list and making a newsletter style where they can promote third-party offers. So they're actually just looking at monetizing their own email list, where before they were very much, if their email list is internal only. We're seeing more companies being willing now to monetize other lists, so more email traffic and big lists are coming into play as well.
Interesting. That's awesome. Very cool.
Mhm.
Any other tips just for as far as like when you guys are looking at offers and deciding which ones make sense for you guys and which ones don't?
No, I mean, a lot of it is just, again, compliance, conversion, keeping it fresh, tailoring. If you can hit more than one audience, that's always beneficial for us. So if it's a weight loss offer, if we can also hit energy, if there's different landing pages for that or swipes that really work,
Yeah,
that
interesting.
helps us grow.
Mhm.
To kind of like reposition the offer a little bit. That
That
makes sense.
helps us go to a bigger variety.
So
Huh.
many offers can do that, but I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah, it's especially if you're getting the same demo. So
Yeah.
for like 45 plus females, it's weight loss, it's energy, it's hormones. There's just, and a lot of the supplements kind of do, or health products do the same thing. But surprisingly, also the financial offers we have also do well on health lists, and some health products do well on financial lists. So it's also just knowing that we're targeting a certain demo as a whole.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
I love that. That's cool. What as far as the opportunities you see for offers hitting well right now, is it kind of always the same stuff, or is there something kind of like breaking out that you're noticing? Because I imagine
It's
diet would always do well. And then
what
I
do well.
Diet.
Diet. Yeah, some sort of diet, right? Keto's
Yeah.
still doing well. The next one transitioning it is gut related. So it's a
Mm.
seasonal, it's trend based, usually lasts about 5 years a season. So keto crushed it for 3-4 years. Now it's still doing really well, but it's more flatlined. It's not growing or shrinking right now. So,
Yeah.
and then gut health is like going way up.
Oh,
So
really?
Cool.
Interesting.
yeah, so it's all seasonal. Gut health will probably have 5-7 years of a lot of traction right now. That's gonna
Yeah.
and then same thing
Oh,
with VSL long form sales pages. If you look, it's like 5-7 year trends that at least with email that do well.
How's
interesting.
financial stuff doing right now? I feel like with everything going on in the world with like the overlooming recession that everyone speaks about, I can see it doing well because people are probably trying to prepare for the dark days if there is any.
And I'm surprised, but our number one financial offer currently is a crypto webinar of how to make side money using crypto, which
Interesting.
Really?
Right, you would think that would be down, but crypto webinar and just this idea of making side money is doing really well. Yeah, people are getting ready for recession.
Side hustle?
Yeah, side hustling that's a big one right now. Side hustling. I feel like
Mm.
I would not
COVID,
have guessed that.
yeah, I think everyone's just trying to prepare for whatever's to come.
Yeah,
Mm.
interesting. Are they actually teaching people to become like Bitcoin miners or?
They're teaching how to make it passively,
Gotcha.
trade and yeah, just
Oh,
understand
interesting.
crypto. Mhm.
Wow. Huh.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And that
mean,
one's doing, and surprisingly, that one is doing well too. Financial lists, health lists, biz op lists. So it's doing well too, just in the world.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can I can see the angle with it though, because like numbers are kind of down on all sorts of crypto. So I feel like it's like they could probably pitch that as opportunity now, you know,
Mhm.
like I feel like there's always an angle. There's always something
Yeah,
to push, you know?
there is. And some people lost so much money in crypto. I think there's a lot of what do I do with this now? Do I hold it? Do I sell it? How do I keep
Yeah.
creating?
What do I do with the half empty bag I got left?
Yeah.
Always hold. Always
Yeah.
hold.
Sorry, 1 second. My 17-year-old deaf dog is actively trying to get out.
No
Yeah,
worries.
that's okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, my crypto is definitely eating it a little bit.
I just bought back into a bunch of stuff.
Oh, did you?
What did you buy into?
You go.
Just Bitcoin.
Nice.
Could have been a poor choice. I don't know. I'm like on the fine line of like selling everything I own and just like riding it out, or just like acting like it's fine and continuing on with life. I really don't know which way to go.
Man, we're so lucky. Like, just as far as like when I had my banker come over yesterday because we had to set up new fraud protections because I guess like Chase's fraud issues are up 65% in the last year, which is crazy.
Dude, our credit cards, there's fraud on them every month almost.
Consistently. And like, yeah, without going into detail on that, it doesn't make sense how, because they never leave our hands. So it's kind of wild. But he was just saying like just of the amount of like things that are kind of seen on the horizon coming up. It's certainly going to be interesting times. And you know, some people during COVID they lost their way to make money completely, right? And so they're kind of bouncing back from that. And we were kind of sharing our numbers because he brought someone with him, and we were so lucky. If anything, I felt like COVID made people more comfortable with purchasing online. Because if you're hesitant, if you're like, hey, I want to go to the store, well, I guess the store's closed and it will be for 2 years. So you either got to buy online or you won't get it. So I think if anything, if you were online, it helped you. I think we kind of got lucky because who knows what could have happened in the whole thing. But it is certainly interesting to see how like the world's going to bounce back from that. I live in Florida and we're already seeing prices drop. I have some interest in like Buffalo market. We're seeing prices drop there. So I think something's certainly coming. It'll just be interesting to see how the world handles it.
I think it'll grow the online business community a lot though. Because I feel like a lot of people may lose their jobs, or I'm not too sure what else, but I think that the online industry is always there and there's always something to sell, or there's always like like us, we specialize in lead gen. There's going to be tons of debt stuff. There's going to be like auto
We're in a great spot.
refinance, right? Like there's
100%.
going to be everything. Tons of legal offers. People are going to be jumping on board with like every legal offer out there, trying to make
Yeah.
a buck. Like, so I almost see it as like I'm kind of excited for it. Like I don't wish anyone to lose their job, but at the same time, I'm kind of excited because I feel like it's going to create so much opportunity.
One, as you guys grow, as we grow, right? There's so many jobs being created. You're going to need, as the offers grow, you're going to need a team. We're recruiting so many people that have never worked online as entry-level affiliate managers that have that skill, like bartenders, hairdressers, people who are losing some jobs, where, you know, there's so much opportunity being created online with this growing economy.
Could you imagine going from like being a barber to now you're like an affiliate manager? Like
One of
like,
our best success stories is
really
was a hairdresser, and Amber recruited her. She got trained through our programs, and then she started producing an extra, I think, $300,000-400,000 a month for them within the first 6 months in affiliate revenue. And she's
I can
one of our
see it.
She's
people skills.
Yeah, people skills.
it's people skills. There's so much appreciation for the flexibility of the job. There's just organizing, keeping consistent project management. If you have the skill set, it's such a great job going from this normal 9 to 5 and all of a sudden
Mhm.
crushing it online.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
I
people's skills are
online.
hard to find
Mhm.
these days. I feel like the younger generations, and I know this is a blanket statement, so don't get mad at me, but I feel like the younger generations just kind of would rather just like hide in their house and scroll their phone than like have a conversation with anybody.
Some of them,
Yeah, some of
but
them for sure.
there's definitely still plenty of great talent out there. Still a lot of
Mhm.
ambitious younger generations, lots trying to grow and finding ways and opportunities. And I think it's going to create a whole wave of job
So how do
opportunities.
you find those people?
Well, I am really lucky to have the same hiring team we've had for 7 years. So
Mhm.
they are phenomenal at just identifying talents at this point. We have systems
Mhm.
for it, but I mean, honestly, we go Indeed, we go Craigslist, we put out job posts and then we vet them
Gotcha.
and lots of referrals too.
And that's
Um,
all internal?
mhm.
Gotcha.
What as far as like someone who has an offer and they're looking to grow up, they want to bring on an affiliate manager. What do you like kind of recommend people look for in people for that role specifically?
For an affiliate manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there again, it's 3 roles in one. You have to have some sort of sales understanding or experience. Project management portion is really big because they have so many moving pieces. They're talking to a lot of different conversations, offers, sending out assets. They have a lot going on, and they have to understand marketing at some level. And
Mhm.
with entry level, what we tend to focus on is looking for somebody who it's how they answer the questions, making sure everything's properly filled out, their attention to detail, they show up well prepared, well dressed, they can communicate well, they're really interactive. And then we put them through some Colby tests, which the
Oh,
Colby
very
scores,
cool.
yeah, the Colby scores, we've tested all the different tests and we've done the top affiliate managers and then the average performing ones. Colby's the only one that came back consistent. So you can have tons of
Oh,
different, you can be introvert, you can be extrovert. There's a lot of different personality traits you can have. That doesn't determine if they're going to be a good affiliate manager. Both do great. But what we did find, Colby was the consistent one. And it's somebody that their fact finder needs to be somewhere in the middle. So meaning they need to absorb enough information to represent your program correctly. So
yeah.
they put out the numbers, do everything, but not so much that they get paralyzed and they can't adapt to change
Mhm.
because it's a fast moving industry. There's a lot of information, but you need to be able to move quickly. So you can't be too stuck in the details.
Mhm.
They need to be mid to low range of follow through, which is system building.
Yeah.
Again, we want them to have understanding of systems, but not to get so stuck in the systems they can't be adaptable. It's a really fast moving role that they need to be able to be structured, but not stuck in the way of doing it.
Mhm.
They need to be mid-range, quick start, because we need them to be adaptability is a big one. So attention to detail, adaptability, and moving will move, but not so fast they miss details. And then a low follow through is what we look for on the Colby score because that's that indicates how they do day to day,
Yeah.
the same thing over and over again. And affiliate managers, their job is a little bit same day to day, but a lot of it is different. So
Yeah.
them to be able to have these interactions. So that's a big one. And again,
That's interesting. That makes sense. I love that.
I mean,
Yeah,
anybody
that's
that shows
very
up even
cool.
a minute late, they're out because again, this online world, we need people to treat it like a C-suite level job. We need them to take it
Totally.
really seriously, really professional. This is somebody who's gonna be representing your company on your behalf.
Mhm.
So we
And the
take
opportunity's there for it. Like we know affiliate managers making, 7 figures a year.
absolutely the opportunities there and we
No
just
college, no education, like they're making more than like they're
Work from
probably
home.
they're making as much as a plastic surgeon. Like it's insane, except with all the flexibility too. So
Mhm.
it's like it's a pretty unreal role. One, if you're looking for a career and you might hit that Kobe, like you should definitely consider it.
yeah, it's a really cool opportunity. And anybody who is looking to hire an affiliate manager, we always encourage them to treat it, make sure people are treating it as that. That's not
Yeah.
Mhm.
an entry level. I mean, and you can grow within, it's not the time. I feel traditional roles, it's how much time you put in, where online roles, affiliate marketing, you can grow within a year or two into a senior level position if you really put in the work, because it's
or just a couple of relationships. I feel like what's great about the online world, it's so value driven. I think I was talking to one of my managers the other day, and he kind of brought up seniority, and I'm like, I think seniority is bullshit, man. And the reason I think that is if someone comes in a month, and like this has never happened, but say in a month someone doubles your business, like you would reward them for that. You wouldn't reward the guy who's been here for 10 years and like you would still reward if he increased 10%, but under his management, if it was all flat, like he wouldn't deserve a reward because there's no value there. But if someone came in and doubled your business in a month, like, yeah, they should get paid handsomely for that, regardless of how much time they spend with you.
I mean, I've seen people's programs get doubled in 6 months. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe not a month, but 6 months, like a new
Oh.
affiliate manager come in. A lot of times the new ones actually do better than seniority because they don't have these preconditioned ways of doing things. They
Yeah,
don't know that the offer does well to some and doesn't do well. There's this enthusiasm, they reach out to everybody, they're on it. And honestly, that's a lot of what it takes.
yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense.
The hunger is good.
The hunger and the naiveness before
Yeah.
before
I
you know
guess,
you have an
yeah.
average converting offer. It's
Yeah.
amazing how much momentum you can get before you know that.
We're all weathered over
Yeah.
here. We're like, oh man, bring us the new people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to be fair, most people have average converting offers because it's average because it's average.
Yeah,
Like,
no
that's the
doubt.
majority.
That's so funny. Wow, very cool. Well, I really love that. Just some of the topics we touched on, like one, knowing your numbers, obviously, for having a competitive edge. And then two, email traffic. Like I personally am going to spend more time just researching that. We do a ton of email internally as well, but all in the lead gen space. And it's been a nice, consistent traffic source for us. And then three, just bringing on, how to just key aspects to look at from affiliate management. I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
As far as one thing I was kind of curious about, the Kobe score. When did you guys start using that?
When?
Yeah.
So when we started doing thorough consulting, we started doing quite a bit of hiring 3-4 years ago. And that was one of the things is I wanted to find something. We have a lot of, again, processes. We have a lot of checklists and intuition around who's going to do well. But one,
Yeah.
at least something very it's subjective or objective
Yeah,
that
that makes
we
sense.
can lean on. And we put, I think, close to 100 affiliate managers through 6 of the biggest tests to see if
Gotcha.
there's some sort of consistency. And so we've been using it since then. And again, it's one of the indicators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One, but
How long did it take you to analyze that data? Like that's that's a shit ton of stuff to go through to figure out.
I love it. That's my favorite thing to do. So
Really?
this is my weekend and evening project for maybe like 6 months.
You're like
That's
fired up
amazing.
about it. I'd be like,
It's really fun to do. I love it.
If numbers was on the Colby score, mine would be very low.
If what was?
Numbers, just like
Numbers. Oh,
sorting numbers and yeah.
I love it.
Not
It's
my
my favorite
thing.
thing to do. That's why we have a performance network.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, but that's probably why you're great at what you do, right?
Yeah, I could sort numbers all day.
Amazing.
Yeah, Gabe just wants to like make videos. It's his superpower.
It's great.
I don't know
Making
if that's
videos
true.
and smashing ads. I tell people Gabe's the hammer and every ad is like a nail, and he just wants to scale everything to 50 grand.
I love it. That's great.
Even if it can't be scaled though, and then it's usually just bad for the bank account.
Counterproductive.
Yeah.
Too funny. We actually just started I joined Strategic Coach.
Mhm.
Is that where you got Kobe from, or where'd you pick it up from?
No, I mean, we've been hiring for 15 years and I've always leaned on tests as a metric. So again, Colby was one of the ones we put people through 6 different ones. It was just a matter of they're all different and they all measure different parts of the personality. So Colby's the one that came back with consistent traits for the most successful affiliate managers, where it's everything else was you could really be any personality type.
Gotcha. I definitely found Kobe interesting. We had so we have a few different divisions, and there is one division that didn't have any growth year over year. I was trying to figure out because I'm like, these guys are smart and they, they day in, day out, like they're not slacking, like what's going on? And we ran a Kobe and they were both very low quick start and like more systems oriented guys. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So it really helped me understand how to architect a team differently. Because I'm like, it makes sense. There's no quick start. There's no one trying anything new. Like their numbers were literally the dead same year over year. So they didn't go down, but they didn't go up either. And so it's really interesting. So I'm trying to get more intentional. Like when I put people on different teams, like how do I complement their strengths and their weaknesses just to like pull the best out of them? And one thing I was talking to someone the other day, and like as you grow and scale, or at least from my experience, how you run your business has to really change because you only have so much time in the day. It's like, I try to like narrow down my job to 4 different things. And one of them is having the right people and the right people in the right seats. Next is finding opportunities that make sense with strategic advantages stuff. And the last one, I'm forgetting what the last one is. Oh, giving the team the tools they need to be successful. So like figuring out who gets what, who goes where, and then give them those tools. But I find if I find on those things, which the Kobe's a piece of that, we found it hugely beneficial, at least internally.
Yeah, and I love that you touched on having that stability, the people that are in stable role, because that's such a huge element that I see a lot of corporate world has it. Offer owners, a lot of them undervalue it. That person that's a low quick start and high systems, because they keep that stability going. And most entrepreneurs are high quick starts and they don't have enough of those people around. 2 of them at the same time, I could see what, but that's such a good example of, you can start a project and they will hold it down for years. They will, yes, you to infuse new ideas, but it's such a reliable, predictable, consistent machine when you have that low quick start, high systems person.
Totally. And then the opposite, we've had times where there's 2 quick start guys together, full of ideas, and nothing gets done. Like, but you're so excited the whole time. Like I'm a quick start guy for sure. And so you're fired up about it, but like at the end of the day, nothing's there. So it's just very interesting. It's certainly like a very useful tool. It sounds like for you and certainly for us. So.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, my business partner, Amber, she's a 9 quick start and I'm a 7. So we have to have a team of a lot of stable, calm people who vet our ideas. They actually our team gets the final say, not us, on most of the things that we do, because we're 2 quick starts.
Yeah.
We will move
Tyler,
on.
you're a quick start, right?
Yeah, big time.
I'm a quick start too.
Yeah, you definitely are. I think another thing that I think is important as you grow and scale, like it's important to know yourself and like have limits. I have an example I'm not going to share, but
you should don't use names.
Well, the name would be me, so that's the problem.
Oh, perfect.
But anyways,
you should have gone into a guy I know.
Yeah, I should have. If I was a little bit smarter, I would have. But yeah, just the more you know yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, like the more you can just double down where you're good and pass off where you're not, and just gives you that opportunity for more growth.
Absolutely. I think that's been my biggest lesson in 15 years now of agencies, entrepreneurship, and just the more I learn what I shouldn't be doing, the better everything gets.
Right. I try to tell some of my guys, are you the bottleneck? Are you the bottleneck in this? Because if you're the bottleneck, we're going slow and that's a problem. And it's amazing how much like a little bit of streamlining can completely change your bottom line.
It's so easy to say, but it's fucking hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Bottleneck.
Yeah, well, not even that, just like are you like what's your strong suit and like what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. Like this is like what I think about all day, every day. I'm like, how can I go faster?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something I've worked with quite a few people on, but it's really, honestly, one of the best tools I've heard is write down everything. It's such a pain, especially when you're a quick start, which is usually quick starts needed the most. Write down everything you're doing in a day, and then just make that basic column of, do I really need to be doing? Can I delegate? Can I automate it? Can I get rid of it completely? But have somebody else go through it one line at a time and just ask you, because you do feel like you need to be doing it all the way. Like, do you really? You have to defend everything that you're doing. It's amazing. One sitting, you can usually get rid of half the things you're doing.
I like the idea too. Like if you can't defend it to someone else, like you certainly shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Are you the only one that can be doing it? Yes. Why?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I find like lately I feel so busy, but I'm like doing nothing. Like I am doing stuff, but like I feel like I'm doing nothing. By the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't really like add revenue to this business. I just did a whole bunch of dumb tasks.
Yeah, something to sit back and second guess for sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for popping on. It was definitely a pleasure to meet you. We might have some offers for you pretty soon, so we'll definitely have to chat again in the future.
Let's do it. It's great meeting you guys.
If anyone, I don't know if you want this or not, but if anyone wants to reach you, what's the best way to do so? You're happy to divert and say that you don't want people to reach you.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Do you want me email? Probably be best.
Okay, we can include it in the description here. I'll get Rebecca to get it for you. And then you guys still do the affiliate coaching, affiliate manager
Yeah,
coaching?
we recruit and train affiliate managers. That's a program we offer.
Okay. And if anybody's interested in doing that, where can they find that?
EastFifthAvenue.com. We have all of our programs. We have recruiting training on there. We have our network. So everything that we do has sub pages, and it's all hubbed at EastFifthAvenue.com with a number 5.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
And thanks everyone for listening today. For everyone watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube. And for everyone listening, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher, and Amazon, I guess. Amazon. Do people listen to podcasts on Amazon? I've never listened to podcasts. Who knows? Anyway, all right. Thank you guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Bye.
Bye.